When you're playing video games, you probably don't often find yourself thinking about how the characters inside it feel, even as you brutally murder them in gory, morbidly satisfying ways, considering they most likely don't have any feelings to consider. But what about in the near future, when we have technology to make non-playable characters who are sentient and can think and feel just like we do? Hey everyone, Brandon's back with another Toker Talk after a small hiatus. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Today we're going to be talking about the new action comedy movie, Free Guy. You've all waited long enough, so let's get right into it. This was an incredibly enjoyable, hilarious film that tells the story of Blue Shirt Guy, a fictitious video game NPC, in other words, a background character, who becomes sentient while living in a popular online crime sandbox game after meeting his perfect girl. The movie features great actors, including Ryan Reynolds as the NPC turned sentient hero Guy, whose wholesome demeanor contrasted comically and effectively with the violent action themes in the world around him. Lil Rel Howery as his reluctant NPC sidekick, Jodie Comer as both our real-world protagonist and our virtual-world romantic lead, and Joe Cowrie, you know, that guy with the hair from Stranger Things. Yeah, he codes, or whatever. There's also several big streamers appearing playing as themselves, such as Jacksepticeye, Ninja, Pokimane, Dantdm, and lazarbeam, who all help add some surrealism to the experience of the film, which is fitting given its thought-provoking yet simple themes. Soundtrack not only fits well, but also has an incredible amount of diversity in the lineup, featuring everything from modern rap and 90s pop and hip-hop, to 1930s musical music and plenty of soul music from the 60s through the 80s in between. Besides being a hilarious deconstruction of your typical action hero movie, as our virtual world main character is far from a gritty, heart of gold badass or lofty, does what he needs to idealist, one of the movie's themes is NPC sentience and how it'll affect our perspectives on the characters that make up the worlds of the games we love. This is largely accomplished by the commentary of the streamers in the film. Given my previous videos, I'm sure you all know this really resonates with my interest in near-future technology, especially AI. If NPCs experienced reality in the same way that we did through advanced AI, would it change the way you treat them? Do you think they deserve some level of moral consideration, or would you just think of it as an extra layer of realism that wouldn't affect the way you'd play? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Two other continual themes that are present throughout the film is existential agency, or in other words, one's ability to perceive meaning from their existence and actions, as well as pursuing meaning over greed and or success. As you watch Guy trying to take control of his repetitive virtual life, only to find out he's not real and actually just a character inside of a video game, this realization causes him to doubt the purpose and meaning of his own existence. It's his friend, Buddy, who helps him realize that even if they aren't real, the moments they share are, because being there for the people you love is the most meaningful, real thing that a person can do. There's also our real-world heroine, Millie, who grows up with pressure to succeed and always win, only to end up rushing towards success and selling the game, life itself, she and her partner Keys, created to a well-established game publisher called Tsunami. But in doing so, the head developer of Tsunami and our main antagonist of the film, Antoine, steals the code from their game to create the popular Free City game we see in the story while shelving theirs. Well, as the story comes to a close, the shoe finally drops on Antoine, and rather than losing money in a lawsuit, he'd rather destroy the server hosting the virtual lives of the NPCs in Free City. Millie subdues his violent intentions by offering to drop the lawsuit, in exchange for her AI engine and the lives of the NPCs. She finally realizes that the pursuits of her happiness is in her craft's process, and not its results. As for some of the bad, there really isn't too much to complain about. It's somewhat contrived that the coders couldn't deal with Guy in real life just because he was an NPC, and that Guy could overpower a player character even though he was just a level 1 NPC at the time. Plus, how did she kiss him when there was no command for it in this scene, but somehow there is now in this one? She just coded in or something. So there's certainly some suspension of disbelief required for a few scenes, but overall, pretty damn forgivable with how well everything else is. I'm easily giving this great film an 8 out of 10, as it's not only an amazingly funny comedy, but it's a great action film that takes a look at things from a very different perspective. Alright, that'll do it for my take today. If you guys enjoyed, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and follow the high.